BBC News with Sue Montgomery. A Football World Cup qualifying match between Brazil and Argentina has been stopped minutes after kick-off following an intervention on the pitch by Brazilian health officials. They accused 4 Argentine players of having broken Brazil's COVID quarantine rules. The BBC's Latin America regional editor, Leonardo Rocha, reports.
Argentina argued that it had sought advice from the South American Football Confederation and followed its health protocols. They said that 4 footballers who play in the English Premier League had been placed in isolation for the past 72 hours. The Brazilian Football Association said it was happy with the 4 players being included in the squad, but the health regulator, Anvisa, wasn't prepared to compromise. It sent health officials and the police to the stadium in São Paulo to deport Lo Celso, Romero, Martinez and Buendia. They accused them of entering Brazil illegally by failing to declare that they'd recently been in the UK, which has been listed as a country of concern because of the high incidence of the Delta variant of COVID.
The United Nations and the African Union have condemned a military coup in Guinea, in which President Alpha Condé was captured and forced from power. Both the UN and the EU have demanded his immediate release. Mr. Condé was shown on TV surrounded by men in military uniform. The head of Guinea's Special Forces, Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, said his soldiers had dissolved the government and the constitution. Here's Mayeni Jones.
A quiet Sunday morning in the capital Conakry, disrupted by gunfire. Soon residents were reporting a heavy military presence on the streets of the city. The military soon appeared on national TV, claiming they were moved to take over because of corruption and economic mismanagement. The coup plotters are from an elite military unit who have historically received training from the United States. This coup is the latest chapter in what's been a fractious year for Guinea. Last October, the country held violently disputed elections after the president changed the constitution to run for a 3rd term.
The Afghan resistance leader Ahmed Massoud, who has been waging an intense battle against the Taliban to stop them taking control of Panjshir province, has said he's willing to enter peace talks. Our South Asia regional editor Jill McGivering reports.
Ahmed Massoud posted on Facebook saying he supported a plan put forward by religious clerics for a negotiated settlement. He called on the Taliban to end its military offensive in the area, saying his force, the National Resistance Front, was ready to stop fighting immediately to achieve peace. On Sunday, reports from Panjshir suggested the Taliban was gaining ground and even entered the provincial capital. The Panjshir Valley is naturally fortified with a narrow gorge and steep mountains, but now an end to the bloodshed may be in sight.
BBC News. The former South African President Jacob Zuma has been released from prison and placed on medical parole due to ill health. The South African Prison Service said Mr. Zuma had undergone surgery last month for an undisclosed ailment and was now recovering in hospital. It said he would serve the remainder of his sentence in the community under supervision. In July, Jacob Zuma started a 15-month prison sentence for contempt of court. The French Interior Ministry has defended its record on expelling Islamist radicals after a presidential hopeful said she would implement tougher policies. A junior minister said more than 600 people suspected of being extremists had been deported since 2018. But Valérie Pécresse, who's the Republicans' candidate, said that if she were elected next year, she would expel up to 1,500 people a year, boosting the fight against terrorism by reviving a wartime offence of sharing information with the enemy. An Egyptian court is reported to have sentenced 10 men to death for drug smuggling following the seizure of more than 2 tons of heroin. The haul of heroin was said to be worth nearly $160 million. 2 of the defendants were Egyptian, 1 was Iranian, and the rest were Pakistanis. Conjoined twins from Israel have seen each other for the first time after undergoing rare separation surgery. Olivia Noon has the story.
The 1-year-old sisters, who were born conjoined at the back of their heads, underwent a 12-hour operation at the Soroka Medical Centre in Beersheba. The hospital said that the surgery took months of preparation and involved dozens of experts from Israel and abroad. Prior to the surgery, a team of doctors used virtual reality to simulate the procedure. It's the first time such an operation, which has only been conducted 20 times worldwide, has been performed in Israel.
BBC News.